Well, good morning. Welcome to the 1111 gathering. This is Frank in Williamsburg, Virginia, and you've joined us as we continue our journey through the book Faith Without Religion. And today we are at entry number 62, which is entitled, What is Purpose? Very often you hear people talking about the purpose of their lives. So this should be interesting. Let's get right into it. Why do people spend so much time trying to identify their purpose? Most of the time, they do not have a genuine interest in knowing what their purpose actually is. No, they want to create a purpose for themselves which fits easily within their design of how life should be lived. Most only look at the pursuit of this purpose in terms of monetary reward, which is a clear sign that they're on the wrong track. A purpose can only be truly understood in the context of its eternal consequences. If the purpose a person is pursuing is not laying up treasure in heaven for the future, then it's definitely not part of my plan for that person's life, says God. There are only two types of activity taking place on the earth at any time. There are the actions powered by my spirit, carried out by man, or there are the actions of the enemy, powered by evil, carried out by man. Therein lies a great challenge for the human mind. Many of the latter actions by the enemy look perfectly innocent. They may even appear to bring benefit to people's lives, but it is all part of the great deception that keeps many from coming to know my voice. Worse than this is the fact that a lot of the enemy-inspired actions are carried out by lost sheep. Some of these have created their own purpose or ministry so effectively that they can no longer hear my voice. Consequently, they exist with a type of godliness, but with no power whatsoever. Life without power is meaningless and without direction. It causes those horrible feelings of living a purposeless existence, which is not a satisfactory way for any person to live. Take all of this into serious consideration. You can see how important it is that you must have a very clear mandate of what it is that you intend to achieve through your divine purpose. You must be focused on the fruit that it will produce and the eternal consequences of every decision that is made. Set your life objectives or goals, having at all time a picture of the precise fruit that they will enable you to produce. Naturally, there will still be earthly concerns, such as bills to pay, and these will be taken care of as a natural consequence of generating the activity necessary to remain in touch with the purpose and achieving the desired results. There is a natural tendency to want to do this the other way around, says God. Be warned. Those who put their focus on worldly objectives end up married to the world, and a bride cannot have two husbands. This area needs careful attention and focused faith. To develop a clear picture of the desired fruit, you must begin the task with the end already firmly in mind. Once you can do this, it is relatively simple to work backwards and create an action plan to manifest this desired end into your reality. This way, each day then consists of taking at least the minimum required steps to keep pace. Often, these steps will not necessarily produce an immediate, tangible result. This is why it is necessary to have an accurate picture of the end result. Then you can at least sense that progress is made. By holding the picture of your intention vividly in your mind, the Spirit will cause you to take the necessary action to create the success. Now, of course, it is also possible for evil spirits to direct people to success as well. The difference is that these people have no perception of the eternal consequences of their actions. They do not have to be evil people in any respect. Sadly, many of them are among our brethren that have lost their direction and focus. The enemy will use them to fulfill plans of his that only someone in their position could possibly carry out. As an example, it could start with the spirit of pride, which could lead a pastor to become so full of his own self-importance that he has to put everyone to work to raise money so that they can build a bigger and better church building. The congregation willingly responds, the money flows in, and the church gets built. Now, as a consequence of all this, the pastor gets used to hearing people telling him how wonderful he is, what a great thing he has achieved, and his ego and pride often increase. Then, as a result of having this awesome new building, they have room to bring in a full-scale praise and worship team. The pastor receives a recommendation from one of the principal benefactors of the building project. This man tells the pastor about his cousin, a wonderfully gifted pianist with a voice like an angel, who would be just perfect to lead the praise and worship. Of course, the pastor is willing to see the woman and hear her play and sing. After all, he could not turn down a request from someone who had given so much money. When the pastor meets the woman, she is indeed a gifted pianist, and she can sing so beautifully, so he agrees to appoint her to the position of praise and worship leader. Here's the tragedy. The voices of pride and ego and self-accomplishment are ringing so loud in his ears that he cannot hear my spirit, who is saying to him, "Do not do it. Get rid of her now." You see, my spirit knows that the woman is full of the spirit of Jezebel, that within 1 year, her and the pastor will become embroiled in a love affair that will destroy his marriage and bring down the whole church, dashing the faith of many sheep upon the rocks of disappointment. So why did this happen? All because it is so easy for men to put their own purposes ahead of my plans. The message then is to bring every plan and decision before me, and only when I have sanctioned it should you solicit the help of others to carry out the plan. This is the path that leads to joy, righteousness, and the accomplishment of tasks that have true meaning, because they are laying up treasures for you in heaven and not on earth, says God. Wow. Well, that's really a powerful message today. I invite you to rewind it, listen to it again if you don't have a book to follow along with, because there's a lot of powerful truth in there. And it's just another indication of how vigilant and consistent the enemy is in his efforts to drag you down back into the world, to cause you to be ineffective in your faith walk. But we're not going to let that happen, because that's why we gather here today. That's what the 11:11 gathering it's all about. It's all about just encouraging you to stay connected to the truth in God's word and let his spirit guide you in all your decisions and everything that you do. So enjoy your day, and we'll look forward to seeing you back here again tomorrow at 11:11. Bye for now.